8 days from the opener, we get to the announcement we expected. Casey Thompson named the starting quarterback at Nebraska. Welcome to the Voice of College Football, GBR. Please join us each and every Tuesday at 6 Central Time for our Cornhuskers live show with Greg Peterson from On3 Nebraska. Again, we're live every Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Casey Thompson, 63% passer for Texas last year, despite only going 5-7, but that's a team statistic. Casey Thompson had a nice season. Was not the starter coming out of camp, unlike here in 2022. Lost the job to Hudson Card in that battle, but won it back because Card faltered against Arkansas most notably, and Thompson ended up leading the Big 12 in touchdown passes with 24, 9 picks, 63% thrower. And his best game in a losing effort, albeit against Oklahoma, 48 points on the board, 5 touchdown passes against no picks against that Sooner defense. And, of course, he will see them in week 3. First and foremost, though, Scott Frost talked about just a healthier Casey Thompson, who played with ligament damage in his thumb last year with Texas. This year, he's had surgery in the summer, throwing the ball better, according to Scott Frost, in August than he was back in spring ball. Making less mistakes, pocket awareness high, and football savvy, according to Scott Frost. But Frost says he'll take the first rep. That's all he's promising. Casey Thompson won the first rep. He's the starting quarterback. After that, Scott Frost also said that he expects other quarterbacks to play this season. Now, I don't know what that exactly means. Are we talking about meaningful snaps and meaningful games against good teams? Are we talking about cleaning up against Georgia Southern? I don't know. Georgia State, whomever they're playing in week 2. But he gets the first rep in winning the battle over Chupa Purdy and Logan Smothers. Last time we saw Nebraska on the field, of course, Logan Smothers was the man with 24 rushing attempts against Iowa. As a side note, offensive line coach Donovan Raiola whipping the offensive line into shape, according to Scott Frost, again, made a comment that these guys are throwing up 15 to 20 times a day. Is that a good thing? All right, Casey Thompson, again, we noted the 2021 stats. How will he do in 22? Well, I'm a numbers guy, I'm a stats guy, but they got to be put into context and they've got to be taken into consideration of what they truly mean, because the stats do reflect the better players and the better teams. They compile the best stats. That's all there is to it. But those stats have to be taken into context. So Casey Thompson's probably not going to fare as well against Big Ten defenses on the schedule, even though Nebraska's schedule lighter than it was last year in the Big Ten. No Michigan State, no Ohio State, but in the Big Ten Western Division with a lot of strong, stout defenses like Wisconsin, Minnesota in particular, Iowa, of course, and Purdue even. I'm going 26 touchdowns for Casey Thompson this year, 11 picks, 61% thrower. Keep in mind that at Texas last year, he averaged 8.1 yards per attempt. That's a key statistic. It measures completion percentage and also whether you're checking down or are you moving the chains, getting the ball downfield. Chunk plays. 8.1 last year. How does that measure up against the Big Ten Western Division? Well, Aiden O'Connell, probably the second best quarterback in the Big Ten, 8.4. Tanner Morgan, interesting here, 8.2, but 10.2 2 years ago in 2019. With Kirk Shiraka calling the plays as offensive coordinator. He left for Penn State, but he's back at Minnesota. Does Tanner Morgan take an uptick this year? The rest of the division you can see far behind Casey Thompson in yards per attempt. Your thoughts, Nebraska fans, about Casey Thompson being the starter week 0 against Northwestern in Ireland. Join us on Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central.